What is up, everybody? It's Rev time. I hope you're all doing well. Hey, if you're liking the content that you're seeing, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We would love to have you hit that like thingy because the algorithm seems to really dig it. Okay, so I don't do much teaching content, almost none, now that I think about it. But I thought I'll take a swing at it. The reason I don't teach is because I didn't grow up playing guitar from the aspect of I learned some scales and modes and theory. I was always a very ear trained guitar player. I was always very target note oriented, and I'll get into that. I don't know scales. I know basic theory. I think one of the most important things anybody can learn, whether you play piano, bass, guitar, saxophone, doesn't matter. You have to know intervals. Intervals are extremely important. If you understand intervals, then it helps you hear what it is you want to learn or what it is you want to create. And I'm not going to go super deep into intervals, but at the end of the day, in the key of A, if you start on the 1, which is going to be the root, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 8 notes in a scale. That's what intervals mean. So for me, if I'm in the key of A and someone says, what's the flat 5 of A? I'll say E flat. What's the 6? F sharp. What's the flat 7? G. What's the sharp 7? G sharp. It's really, really important to know that type of stuff, but also be able to visualize if someone says, in the key of A, I need a 6 interval. I need a flat 6 interval. It's really important because then if someone says, what would be a sharp 5 tonality in the key of A, I immediately think, well, it's F. The 5th of A is E. The sharp 5 would be F. So that's how I honestly have grown up playing guitar is I'm very intervallic. I sort of know scales, but for the most part, I'm very intervallic. So a line like this is what I'm going to show you, this line. And I just realized how I'm ending it is actually pretty hard to finger, but that's the line. People always ask, well, show me something outside, and how do you think outside? It's like, well, once again, I'm still thinking intervals. So that line in the key of A, I'm thinking of a scale, but to me, I know it's a scale, but I don't know what it is. It's probably a mode, and modes are important. I just didn't learn that way. But basically, it's this. I guess I'm thinking of it as like a dominant 7 that I start on the 3rd. So 3, 4, 5, 6, dominant 7, root, and then rinse and repeat. It's probably a mode, but I don't know what it is. I just know that it's. So in this case, the way I come up with the more altered sounding line, what was I doing? The way I come up with that is I know the intervals. I just, in my mind, but that's why I told you, I know the intervals. So where are the altered outside notes? What notes would be outside the key center of A dominant 7 or considered outside? E flat, F for sure. I'm not doing any flat nines. So in other words, I'm not doing any of this. But that would be another one. It's a half step above. That sounds pretty strident. But within context, it's really cool. But within this, it's really sharp fives and flat fives. So there's a flat five. There's a sharp five. And, you know, study the intervals in the key of A. Do what I just did at the beginning of the video. If you're not familiar with intervals, you'll get it. But for me, it's like I know those are the altered notes, and then the rest of it is what I call chromaticism. So in this case, like in the key of A, chromaticism would not be. This is, boy, am I getting this confusing. In the key of A, non-chromaticism, if I just play the scale. If I'm gonna do a bunch of chromaticism, I would go. Because at the end of the day, you're a half step away from the right note all the time. And I pretty much live my life that way, especially when I'm playing things that are outside. So with this lick, I'll play it really slow. And this is where I'm going to talk about, I'm very target note driven. So once I have like a lick under my hands, I really don't worry about anything other than target notes. So in this case, I know the lick is going to start on the 5th of A. So the 5th of A is E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know 12th fret, that's E on the low E string. That's where it starts. So that's my target note. And then I've already got the shape under my hands. So I'll play it really slow. So what are the altered notes? When we look at the scale, there's the flat 5. The next altered note is F. That's sharp 5. There's the chromaticism. Flat 5, sharp 5, this is the chromaticism. That's where all the altered stuff really is. And then the rest is inside. There's the 9 or the 2. There's that flat 5 again. 6 is inside. And then I'm ending it to basically come back inside so I don't catch my death of cold on the root. So that's, oh man, I've probably completely confused everybody. But that's how my mind works. I don't really think scales necessarily. I very much so think intervals. I think theory is really important. Advanced theory is very important if you want to learn it. I am not at all advanced in theory. Like I said, I know intervals. I know basic scales, but I can't tell you what they are. I just know how they landed under my fingers, and I used my ears to kind of, you know, locate the notes. But at the end of the day, that's how my mind works. So I would love for you guys to try this. It's, you know, it's somewhat advanced, but it's absolutely doable. If you're just patient, just learn it, get it under your fingers. But more importantly, and most importantly, is I'm the most lazy guitar player in the world. So I'll hear something that maybe Nuno Betancourt did all the way over to John Scofield, or maybe Robin Ford, or Michael Landau, or Scotty Henderson. I won't learn the whole thing. I'll just latch on to one little thing that got me thinking, and then intervallically I'll figure it out and then start creating my own idea based on what I heard. And that's what I would love for you guys to do is learn the line by all means, note for note, if you would like, but really take elements of it that you dig and create your own thing. And that will expand your vocabulary. If you're stuck in a rut, that's how to get out of it, is just pick 4 notes out of something you've never heard and latch onto that, and then use your ear and come up with an idea based around that. That's really what makes being a musician so magical and just fun. Okay, I'm talking too much. This took too long. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.